Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work. But the forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence, the bushes empty. Yet, determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free of mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the young girl ran on, over vine, under branch, and into the forest deep.
Micah.
Quit being so paranoid, Ethan. It's just a local tale.
Now loading Micah's Let's Play.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Micah Let's Play, and guess who I am? I'm Micah, cause who else would I be? Mia Winters? After seeing this scene...
Sorry, Ethan.
Yeah, I'm good. And for real, Chris, what the hell, man? You straight up shot the guy's wife. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed the intro I made. Again, I'm a massive Resident Evil nerd. You've been warned. Okay, today guys, we're going to be talking all about Resident Evil 8. It's going to be nothing but speculation because the Tokyo Game Show doesn't happen until this Saturday, and that's when we're going to get new information for Resident Evil 8. Also, for the Tokyo Game Show, there's supposed to be an announcement on Saturday, September 27th regarding Resident Evil 8. I personally think it's going to be VR mode because the game is in first person. I think that's just the announcement they're going to make. But here's what I hope we hear, guys, is that we get a first person as well as an over-the-shoulder option with Resident Evil 8. That would make me so happy because I can't play in first person. And in RE3, it shows that it's possible because basically when you play with Jill, you play with her first and first person, and then it's switched to third person. I think that would be awesome. You know, for gamers who want to play in first person, they have that option. And for those of us who can't or don't like first person, we have our options. But again, that's just my wishful thinking, but I hope it's a thing. Now, before I jump into this video proper, I'm going to talk a little bit about Resident Evil 7, and then we're going to dive into full-on speculatory territory with RE8. So, let's get started, shall we? Okay guys, let's talk about Resident Evil 7. We're going to touch a little bit on the story, like a quick recap, and then we're going to, like I said, jump into RE8 proper. Now, for those of you who are like me, who have never played Resident Evil 7, not that I don't know the story, it's just I can't play first person, I get nauseous. Long and short of it. But to summarize this story for those of you who don't know, is that in Resident Evil 7, Mia Winters, Ethan Winters' wife, is actually a researcher for an organization called The Connections, and she's been tasked to watch over some special cargo, which is Evelyn, also known as the E-Virus. And the E-Virus is essentially this mold that's able to infect people and allow the person, the E-person or the E-Virus, to control everyone they come in contact with. And it works like a charm. So Ethan Winters basically allows his wife to go on this trip because he's under the assumption that she's this babysitter. And then 3 years go by and he doesn't hear from his wife. Here's what's happened on the flip side. Mia Winters is on the ship with her team. One of her handlers makes a mistake and the girl gets out. The girl basically goes on a killing spree. The only person she doesn't kill is Mia because Mia imprinted on her in some kind of weird way, or she imprinted on Mia. It's all up in the air. Essentially, the little girl wants to create a family. Why she wants to do this, not even Capcom knows. But a hurricane happens and they essentially get washed up on the Louisiana Bayou where they run into the Baker family. From there, the Baker family bring Mia and Evelyn into their home, and from there, they basically get infected by her mold, including the daughter Jessie, who runs out of the house. Like I said, during this time, 3 years have passed. Ethan gets a message from Mia saying, hey, this is where I'm at. And dude comes to find his wife only armed with a pair of loafers and a smartwatch. Let me be completely frank with you. Let that be my wife, Christina, telling me after 3 years, hey, I'm over here, come get me. I'm not coming with just a pair of loafers and a smartwatch. I'm coming armed to the teeth, and I'm bringing as many people from the LAPD with me to come get her. That is just the long and short of it, okay? But he goes, and what ends up happening is that Ethan eventually gets infected by Evelyn as well, and he has an entire chaotic, nightmaric experience within the Baker home. And just a whole mess of things happen. Eventually, Chris Redfield shows up. Yeah, that guy calls himself Chris. And he's with Blue Umbrella. And throughout this entire time, Ethan sees this weird little fetus thing. And there's callbacks to Resident Evil 4 and Code Veronica as you're playing the game. From there, Ethan is given the cure to help his wife, and as well as Jessie, the baker's daughter. And from there, Ethan and Mia finally go home and start their happily ever after. And that's essentially where the story ends for Resident Evil 7. So now that you've been all caught up in basically a lightning round of information on RE7, let's jump into RE8. Okay guys, so in RE8, what it looks like, and the information that the past news that we've gotten, is that Ethan and Mia, as I said in the past video, have settled down and they've had a kid. Now from here, chaos ensues. Now if you see in the trailer, Mia talks about this local folk tale and it's really scary. It seems like a real fairy tale. I don't know the folklore, so maybe if one of you knows, let me know in the comment section down below. I don't know what it's referring to, but it seems like a real story. And it seems pretty interesting. The other thing I wanted to point out that I was taking note of, it said in the articles and the news clips that we got for Resident Evil 7 is that Chris Redfield is the catalyst to Ethan's nightmarish experience. First and foremost, he straight up, killed his wife. And second is that Ethan and his daughter have been taken away to this mysterious village. Now here's where we start to get into straight up speculatory territory, because we don't know anything else outside of what we've been told and what we've been able to somewhat piece together with the 2 trailers that we got. First and foremost, when Mia is telling this story at the beginning of the second trailer, when you listen to this trailer, and mind you, when I first saw this, I was thinking that their baby, that Ethan and Mia's daughter, Rose, is a baby. But let's think about this. Why would she be telling this type of nursery rhyme or folktale story to a baby or an infant? Wouldn't this make more sense if the girl was maybe 5, 6, or 7? She'd be small enough to hide from view on camera, but she'd be old enough to know the warnings of don't leave mommy's side or bad things can happen to you. And maybe in the beginning of the story where he's like, why are you telling our daughter this story? And then Mia says the famous line of, stop being so paranoid. It's just a local tale. So when you hear her say that, that may be the conversation that they're having, that either may be a flashback for Ethan, or it might be the opening cutscene we see as the game starts. From there, Chris breaks into his home, kills his wife, kidnaps Mia. Now here's my theories on Chris Redfield. As I said in the past video, I think he may be working as a double agent or a mole within Blue Umbrella to ensure that they're not working or they're not dabbling back into their past history with the T virus and Golgotha virus and all that good stuff, if you're hip. And I think he may be a mole and he might be reporting back to the BSAA. It never said he left them, but I think that's what he might be doing. That's theory number 1. Theory number 2, this could be a clone of Chris Redfield. I know, we got a clone of Ada. It happened in this universe. Why not do it to the man worthy of the name Stars? And can we just all say how happy we are to see RE56 slash Vendetta Chris? Because RE7 Chris, I don't know who the hell that cat was, but this man is worthy of being called a star. Are you with me? Yeah? Yeah? Okay, let's move on. I personally think that, again, if Chris is not a mole and he's not a double agent, or he's not a clone, he may be working with the connections. Here's why. He may be acting as a mole for the connections, and he kills Mia because Mia, even though in RE7 it said that Ethan and Mia are both cured of the E-virus, I think it's still swimming in their veins. Personally, that's what I think. And because Mia was a former employee of theirs, she may be still working as a double agent. None of us really know. Years have gone by. The other thing I'm thinking about that may be hinting that Chris Redfield may be working with the connections is that he brings Ethan to this town and his daughter. Now, if Ethan still is infected with the E-virus, and the reason why I think he's still infected with it, because remember when he pulls back the curtain on the old man takes a shot at him. And again, I'm no gun expert. I don't know how to fire a gun. If I saw one in real life, I would probably shriek like a cat. But he shoots him at almost point blank range. And if a gun is aimed at your head or your chest at point blank range, I like to assume it's a kill shot. I don't know. Is it just me? Let's look at the clip. Kill shot. That's what I was thinking. But look how he says, wait, I'm a friendly. But Ethan doesn't go down from the shot. So, is Ethan still carrying the virus within him? Because if we think about Sherry from RE2 and Jill from RE3, remember the virus was always subdued in their bodies. It was never cured. Because if you look at what happened to Jill in RE5, she was essentially given this concoction to control her mind, and it's even said that Jill's body, after given the virus from Sexy Rambo himself, Carlos Oliveira, her body was able to develop antibodies to constantly fight off the infection within her body. So then if you look at Sherry from RE2, remember she was experimented on after being infected by her father with the Golga virus. And essentially Sherry is basically Wolverine without the claws because she has regenerative capabilities. Jill may be the same, and the same thing may also happen for Ethan. So those are the things that I'm thinking about, or that I think maybe surrounding Ethan's story in this. Now, here's where I'm going to jump into some deep water here with the speculation when it comes to the cult. Lady Miranda. The way they make Lady Miranda seem is like she's a witch within the trailer, especially when she's like, the toll rings for us all, they're coming again, and then she starts laughing like somebody on a bad Tuesday. Now, here's what I'm thinking. I think this may be either a death cult, or it may be due to the people turning into wolfmen or beastmen within this universe. Kind of like the Ganados from Resident Evil 4, because I really think there's a lot of connections to RE4 within this game as well, but, you know, I'll touch on that in just a second. So, going back to the villagers, I think that it's maybe a death cult. The people call to her because maybe she knows how to use a certain type of, I don't know, so-called magic, or maybe she has a particular type of virus that makes the wolves go away. That could be one thing. And then the whole thing with children, it could be that, you know, when they eat the children or take the children away, the children eventually become these wolfmen, and they think the children are, maybe their children are given a gift. Who knows? There's a lot of speculation. But if you look at these villagers, a lot of them look like they've been injured from past attacks. Like, there's so much going on with this, and it leaves a lot to speculation. And then also it makes me think back about this clip that was shared, where it says you have another playable character where the woman in distress and she's running. You know, what does that even mean? Does that mean that she might be, she might have been pregnant trying to get away and these things were chasing her for her baby? So, again, there's so much to really think about. Now, some of you might be like, okay, well, Micah, how does this tie into Ethan? Well, Ethan had a daughter. And remember, Ethan's daughter may have the E virus within her, and they may need her blood for something. Because remember, Ethan got his wrist bit by one of those sexy vampire ladies. So those vampire ladies could also need his blood. Now, some people may think that this is Alex Wesker. Honestly, I don't think it's her, but if it is, hey, it'll make sense. It'll tie in a very loose story thread. Again, what do you guys think? But what are some of the theories you guys have been able to come up with watching this video? And another thing I also want to touch back on is the cheeky guy with the circle glasses that looks like he might be a vampire hunter. What is his role in the game? I'm very curious. I want to know more about him because he seems pretty cheeky and he seems like he might be up to some mess, but then again, who knows? And then also, I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the new merchant because I love when he says, if you're just looking, window shop away. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I know a lot of people were probably looking for the welcome and what you buying. Thank you. Like, people are probably looking for that, and I know I did a horrible impression of the merchant from RE4. But again, I hope we see more of this merchant because he's like this fat guy smoking cigars, and I'm totally here for it. But again, this is why I think it's very tied in with RE4 because you have a merchant, you're in a village, there is these zombie-like bestial people instead of the Ganados. Remember, there was Lord Sadler that they worshipped, and then you got Lady Miranda. So again, when I first saw the trailer, I said RE4 vibes. And again, I'm picking up them RE4 vibes. Can I get a witness? Am I alone in this? Okay. And then, to wrap this all up, as I said once and I said before, at the beginning of the trailer, it says his story comes to a close. So, again, that begs the question, are they killing off the second sexiest Stars member, Chris Redfield? Or are they killing off Ethan Winters? Or is it someone else? Honestly, this is what I'm thinking. I think they're going to kill off Chris Redfield because they didn't do it at RE6, and so they said, now's our chance. And they're going to try to make Ethan our new Chris, and again, you can't do that because Chris has been here since the beginning, and I don't want to see my boy go down. I'm just, Chris was there back in the first original Resident Evil game, and I would hate to see him be killed off or turned into a bad guy and killed off. But again, what do you guys think? I want to know your thoughts and opinions on all of this. So that's all of my speculating for right now, guys. But do me a favor, if you like any of this content that I've shared with you and you enjoyed my ridiculous intro, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment in the comment section down below, hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I'm uploading videos and trying to survive horror just for you. Then remember to wash your hands, wear gloves, wear a mask, practice social distance, choose love over fear, be kind to everyone. Remember, on this channel we live, think, and dream big. Stay tuned because Micah's got more up his sleeves just for you kiddies. And with all that said, bye!